Hello everyone, welcome to Name with Sherri. I'm going to show you how to do two different combination increases. They're similar, but we're going to start with the knitting and purling through the same stitch. Okay, so you want your working yarn to the back of the right needle. You have cast on stitches here, so you're going to go in as to knit. You're going to bring your working yarn through and keep the left stitch on the left needle because we're going to use that for our next step. Okay, so at this point you're going to take your yarn and you're going to come through the two needles and you're going to come around to the front of that needle, right needle. And at this point you kind of move it over to the right, okay? And now you're going to take your right needle and you're going to go back through on the right side of that same stitch through the center front. And then you're going to take your yarn and purl that stitch through and take the left stitch off. So now you have your knitted stitch and your purl stitch that you've done together. Alright, so let's do it again. So your working yarn is in the back because we're knitting first. You're going to go in as to knit, pull the working yarn through, leave the stitch on the left needle. At this point you're going to take your working yarn and you're going to take it between the two needles and around the front of the right needle. Okay. And at this point you're going to take your right needle to the right of that same stitch on the left needle and you're going to take it through the center front. You're going to take your working yarn and purl that stitch through to the back and slide the left stitch off. So you have your your knit and your purl, because we ended with a purl. So knit and purl. Okay, so that's how you do that. And now I'm going to show you how to do the combination purling and knitting through the same stitch. So it's basically backwards. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to have your working yarn on top of your right needle in the front of your work, because we're going to purl the first one. So, hold on, let me get this stitch off because this looks, I don't know why that's so tight there, but I don't want to work in that one. So just get me to a more comfortable place here. Alright, so you're going to bring your yarn to the front and you're going to go in as to purl. Okay, and you go in as to purl, you bring it through and stop there. You're going to keep the stitch on the left needle. And at this point, you're going to bring your working yarn through to the back. So you're going to go between the needles to the back. And now you're going to take your right needle, because we purled one. So now we're going to knit it. So you're going to go take the right needle through the right side of the stitch, centered to the back. And then you're going to knit that stitch through to the front. And there you have it. There's the two stitches. You got your purl and your knit. And you slide that left stitch off and you complete those combination increase. Alright, let's do it again. So we are purling first. So you bring your yarn forward. You're going to go in as to purl. Bring your working yarn through and then keep your left stitch on the left needle. Okay, so you're going to bring your working yarn through the two needles to the back. And grab your right needle, okay? And then you're going to take your right needle and you're going to come through the right side of that same stitch through the center back. And then you're going to knit that stitch through to the front. And there is your purl and your knit combination increase. You're going to pull the left stitch off and voila. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up or comments or whatever you'd like to do. And I hope you enjoyed your video. And I'll be back with more videos.